Well, good morning, everybody. We're doing 2 Samuel 26, 27, 28, and 29 this morning, and Psalm 127, I think. I am going to avoid what I did yesterday, try to avoid what I did yesterday, because today's subject is obviously very important to me. I'm the father of 12 children, about to have my 13th. I'm 56. And there are a whole bunch of people who would have a problem with that. I know already that there are people questioning that, questioning my sanity, questioning my maturity, questioning a lot of things. And it's not the first time. Uh, hopefully you don't think less of me. If you do, I can't help that. But there's been a number of things that I've done in faith that have provoked the question of my judgment, of my ability to judge correctly. And that's been from almost day one of me being a pastor in my first church and places that the Lord had me walk in faith. The leadership over me had a lot of questions about my judgment, my discernment, and I'll tell you, it doesn't matter for me what people say when the Lord tells me to do something, especially when He's called me to a position of faith. Something I have to operate in faith. I'm not going to question it. And so as we read through these scriptures today, there's a lot of stuff there, and you can focus on the whole thing with David and Solomon. But what stood out for me was Obed-Edom. Now he was in the first chapter that we read, and it was pointed out his sons, and that they were all valiant men. And it was said of him that he was blessed. That really stood out for me, that he was blessed. Because he had been blessed with these number of sons, and they were valiant men, he was considered a blessed man. Wow. And then you read Psalm 127, and in here it talks about that the children are the blessed fruit. The blessed fruit, that the children are a blessing from the Lord. And everybody would agree, yeah. But then when you hear that somebody has been blessed with 13, wow, it's amazing how the attitude of the world will suddenly show up. And this has been the case for the last decade or so with me. But there was a time for 6 years where I couldn't have kids. And that has provoked me to realize that every single child is a miracle. There's no guarantees. These children are a gift from the Lord. They are a gift. He's the one who allows children to be born. And people say, well, the world's attitude is it's a biological thing. It's a biological thing. It's just that. But that's because people have a problem with seeing the hidden realm. They have a problem seeing the unseen. They have a problem with understanding that hidden realm impacts this reality. The hidden realm is a greater reality than this. It's more solid. It's for eternity. This is a temporary reality. It will fade away. It will be gone. But that hidden reality is what will last forever. And that influences this reality, and we who belong to the kingdom are supposed to live according to those principles. But when you start talking about a large family or somebody who's stepped out in faith, I guess if you've got a job where you're bringing $200,000 a year and you can afford a lot of kids, that's one thing. But when you're living on half a pastor's salary, and people start questioning your judgment. Well, you don't have this and you don't have that. But the blessings of the Lord are not dictated by the size of your bank account. It's by the size of your heart. It's about your willingness to walk according to the hidden realm. It's about the principles of the unseen. And he uses them to bring those unseen things into view. He uses them to bring them into, and his value is different than this world's. This world doesn't impact on the value of the kingdom. And yeah, so when I look at Obed-Edom, I think, wow, Lord, yeah, in Psalm 127, indeed, I've experienced this. I know what it is to have no blessing. I know what it is to face that. And whether you have one child or 100 children, you know that each one of them is unique and wonderful and special and a blessing to you and for you. And blessings require work. This is my thing. It's my shtick. I put it out there all the time. It's great to be blessed, but the blessings of the Lord always provoke work. And that's, how much more true is that of children? It's not like the worst part of having, or the hardest part of, whoops, the hardest part of having children is the labor and birth. That's one level. It's another level when they start to crawl, and it's another level it's another level when you actually have to hold them. You can't contain them anymore. They're not tucked away. You actually have to feed them now and change them and clothe them and look after them and walk around with them at night when they won't go to sleep. And then there's the crawling stage where you have to follow around, make sure that they're safe. You have to put all the barriers up, and you have to clean up all the messes they make from what they grab. And then there's the toddling stage, that walking stage. Well, now they can reach other things and they can get into other stuff, and they're more active. And every stage just brings a little more work. When they're teenagers, they can make messes, but a lot of their messes are more the heart messes and the head messes. And then it's a lot of sitting and talking and understanding and forgiving and modeling. And the whole bit. It's a lifetime. And when they're adults, it's not over yet. You've got to be the listening ear, the wise counsel, and again the modeling. It's just a wonderful adventure. It really is. And these are blessing. And I know I'm not going to judge those who deny those blessings. I'm not going to judge those who take the steps to prevent those blessings. Every person has to be accountable for, what they do with the blessings, and whether they were willing to receive or reject or what. And listen, I'm not asking for a comment on this. I'm not saying I'm right, you're wrong. I'm just telling you what I've received from the Word and how I approach it and what my personal experience is in this. And I'm not going to deny it, and I'm not going to apologize for desiring to walk in the full blessing that the Lord has intended for me. And if I have 13, I have 13. If I have 14, I have 14. Whatever. If I have a kid when I'm 60, make your comment. Go ahead. It's there. It's there. There's a lot more I can say, but I'm not going to get into it. Just look at your children. Look, if you have children, look at your children and understand they are a blessing. Understand that they are a gift, and treat them that way. Treat them as precious as they are, whether you have 1 or 20. Guys, be blessed. Be encouraged, and don't hate me for this.